Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Hey guys, this is going to be a quick video because I have many emotions about the second movie of Space Jam called Space Jam 2. I forgot what it was called, the subtext, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the movie because I just got home after watching it, and oh boy. If you told me what's the difference between the first and the second, I would tell you like it's basically the same plot, just like replace the basketball players who lost their power to LeBron James, trying to get his son back and everything from a uh fuck, what was his name? Or fuck, yeah, I'm gonna put it up, yeah, up on screen. I cannot remember his name for the life of me because it's very late and I stayed up all night yesterday, so that's fun. Yeah, that's something typical that I would do. We don't need to talk about it. We need to talk about Space Jam because it was a good movie. I really liked it. From a plot point, it's the same thing as the first movie. Yeah, the only thing I'm upset with is that they didn't include Space Jam, which they should have included from the first movie. I'm upset. Like, it's, ah, they included a lot of like modern songs, so I guess like it's from the first and second. The second one was probably like modernized, for like the younger audience of like who didn't know what Looney Tunes is, stuff like that. There were so many references from the modern day. Uh, if I could get the gifs and everything, I'm gonna put them off screen because I'm posting this like end of July because just in case for people, so spoilers and everything. I'm not gonna give out too much because this is gonna be a quick video. I'm not gonna like spoil too much. Hopefully, yeah, it was. I think it was a good movie. I really liked how it was like more mixed media, in like how it was kind of like Roger Rabbit, kind of like how it was in the first movie where they just like animated on top of live action, like how they did. I like how they how it was from like kind of like how Roger Rabbit was to 2D animation and then 3D. I have one little thing with the 3D though. It the models are fine. The models look modernized, which is supposed to happen for like whatever thing you're supposed to reboot, like how it was back in Looney Tunes original, like 1930s, I want to say. That's how it was. Yeah, Bugs Bunny and everyone revolutionized. Porky Pig wasn't what he was back when he was created, and that's fine. Like there are good changes to the Looney Tunes and everything. My little thing is how they 3D rendered the fur from like Bugs and like Lola and like everyone else that had like fur or feathers. It threw me off for a second because I don't know, it just threw me off for a loop because like they don't look like the original anymore. They just look like they're like modern versions of what they were. And if they kept it to the style of like how they were in the first movie, where they just were how just like with lighting and everything, like not like how it was modeled, just like smooth and stuff. Yeah, like because they're cartoons, they're not. I mean, they're not supposed to be like realistic. I mean, do you know half of the things that they do? Pull out mallets, take out TNT, paint walls, and just go through them like it's magic, and like able to take it down in one swipe, or just like make machines have little. You know that thing with Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, where they would stop for one frame and they would show like the scientific name, quote unquote, like they can stop time, they could rearrange themselves, they can it's they're tunes. You're supposed to they're supposed to break that reality of real life, 3D and real life, from tunes. That they're from Tunes World. That was what the plot was. Just and the whole thing where everyone was just in separate universes of what Warner Brothers created, and just showing like, oh, Warner Brothers created that. They created Animaniacs. They created the Flintstones. They created like the Iron Giant. I forgot that Warner Brothers did that. Like, there's so many references in like the audience and like the final scenes where they had to do basketball stuff. I don't fucking know. I'm so overwhelmed with emotions. It's cool. It is such. I really like the movie. Like, it. I guess it like drives that spark back of like why I wanted to be an animator in the first place. Of like how it was when back then. How they didn't have like rendering. They didn't have like it was just pen on paper and just color, and like they could have done watercolor. Yeah, they had to do it by hand, kind of like. And I know Warner Brothers and like Disney are like separate companies, but like they both revolutionized just genre of animation. Like, you could be so creative with it, and just I'm just so lost of words because I don't know how to express myself of it. And look, like, you guys could say like, oh, he's analyzing it because he's an animator. He's done this before. Like, I know that. I've done classes. I had to do papers on this. I analyzed Into the Spider-Verse, and just like, take some references from that, just because you're animating from one scene to another. You could use use smudge. You could just there's so many ways. There's so many ways to animate. You could do clay. You could do 2D. You could do 3D. You could do what they did like with Roger Rabbit's. Space Jam. Another movie that Looney Tunes did. I cannot remember what it is. Posted it in the edit. It's in my mind, but I cannot remember what it was called. How they did that. It's great. I love it. It's just how they did it is stop motion, clay animation. There's just endless things that you could do with animation, and like how you could mix the media of like how Spider-Verse did, where you can just mix comic and like 3D rendering, and then like put effects of 2D over the 3D models and everything, and it looks like it's coming from a comic book. That's like how they did that. How they were referencing old jokes like from the original Looney Tunes. I don't remember if they did that in. I mean, yeah, they were probably doing that in the first movie too. I don't know, but in the first movie they didn't talk about. I believe, I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna watch the first movie and then like maybe put like text like that is true or not, whatever. That they didn't talk about the others that aren't like the main. I don't remember if they talked about Foghorn Leghorn, the grandma, Speedy Gonzalez. He was one of my favorites. Like every Daffy, Daffy was in there actually. I lied. How they included more, like the fucking monsters. God, it was great how they referenced that. How I just really like the movie, and I might be like biased because I'm like, oh, I'm an animator and I'm analyzing it from an animator's perspective, like how much work and dedication that it takes for these animators that've done this over all these years, like how it was in Hanna-Barbera, and then just like the evolution from there. where they did Yogi Bear, they did Flintstones, they did the Jetsons, they did Iron Giant, they did Austin Powers, they did everything, and it's great. And Harry Potter, we're not talking about Harry Potter, but they did that. I, I don't know. It's just I wouldn't really call it a rant. I would just like giving my suggestion. No, whatever. Fuck. I was trying so hard not to curse in this. I don't know if I did or not. Whatever. It's I don't know. I just really like how they reference old jokes and everything. How they try to keep on character for the Daffy's little lisp. I love his lips. It's so funny. And how, like, sure, your kids aren't going to know what Looney Tunes is like, except from this movie. I mean, they're always trying to do newer variations of Looney Tunes, and like Batman, even Spider-Man. Like, there's so much that you could do. It's wonderful. It's like the variation of what they did with the Looney Tunes show, which is one of my favorites. That's one of my favorites because it just like takes a character out of like, I guess, just slapstick and just like comedy, or just, and they put them in situations where they're like, oh, I can't slapstick my way out of this. I have to figure it out on my own. Kind of like sitcoms. That's probably why I really like it, because I really like sitcom and novelas and like soap operas, because it's just taking drama to a whole new level. Opinions? That's the word I was going for. This is just my opinion on Space Jam movie, which I'm probably being really liberal with my score, quote unquote. But I don't know. Like, there are other animators that could say like, oh, this, and this is why it gets this rating. Like, those are probably people that have done like so much better work and just have so much more years under their belt and everything. I don't know. I just get inspired from like shows like Bugs Bunny, and like how it was the old cartoons, how they were doing it by hand, how they back then that they were only animating one part and they had to keep the other parts still to maybe save cost, or like with color, when they introduced color, when they introduced moving backgrounds, that was great. It just I was gonna say title sequence, or like fading, how they the computer animation 3D from like Toy Story and everything. This is probably going on a lot longer than I thought it was. I'm just really excited. I don't know. It sparked like new creation. I mean, my style isn't like very Western, as you could say. It's more inspired by anime and everything. But I don't know. I do want to lean back into my origins and just how it was back then, of animating in Western, just Western, of just how it was in the U.S., how they created everything from here. It was just from Hanna-Barbera and then Boomerang, and then just like it shows like Cartoon Network that did, Nickelodeon, Disney. It's just I don't know. Is it being overwhelmed? I don't know how to articulate my words very clearly, which you could probably tell by like the amount of speed paints that I have and the least amount of animations that I do. I do work on them, but I'm just slow. I hope you liked the video. Give a like and subscribe if you would like. If you would like more opinionated or just like off script, which is probably most of my videos when I'm reviewing other shows and everything. This was just off the whim. I just really wanted to do this and create a little bit of fan art with me and my friend. Uh, Hopefully I'm doing it with me and my friend, or if it's just me by myself, because I went to go see it with my friend and she really enjoyed it too. Um, Sorry. I love you. Bye. Hopefully you have a good day.